Do not cry over the loyalty you expected from someone incapable of giving it. Observe, do not chase, accept, do not cling. A Stoic does not beg for truth. He sees it clearly and moves accordingly. My brothers, let us speak plainly. Loyalty is not declared, it is revealed. And often it's hidden behind soft words and smiles that mask uncertain hearts. In the world of the Stoic, we do not accuse without reason, but we do not turn away from the truth when it is in front of us. To expect loyalty from a person without self-discipline, self-respect, or purpose is to plant seeds in sand. The wise. Man does not demand fidelity. He watches, he listens, and he learns. And when he sees the signs, he does not argue with them. He accepts and acts. So today, I give you 5 principles, forged in clarity, not bitterness. These are not meant to make you paranoid, but to free you from illusion. A woman who is not loyal will always show you, if you are strong enough to see. When someone's words and actions don't align, it reveals more than carelessness. It reveals truth. A woman may speak of love, devotion, and loyalty, using all the right phrases to assure you of her commitment. But the Stoic man does not place blind faith in words alone. He observes what is done, not what is said. Promises are easy to make, but actions are where character lives. If she claims she's committed yet her behavior shows distance, secrecy, or inconsistency, then her true intentions are already speaking louder than her voice ever could. Pay close attention to the small contradictions. She says she values honesty, yet she hides details from you. She claims you're the priority, yet always finds excuses to avoid investing time or energy into the relationship. These inconsistencies are not harmless mistakes, they are signals. Repeated over time, they form a pattern, and that pattern reveals a deeper lack of alignment between her words and her reality. A Stoic does not react emotionally to this misalignment. He does not beg for consistency or argue over what is fair. He observes, and once he understands what is real, he adapts. He does not try to change her. He simply accepts what is being shown and makes his decisions from a place of clarity, not desperation. The truth is always there, hidden in plain sight. When someone truly respects and values you, their actions will reflect it effortlessly. When they don't, their actions will betray their words again and again. Do not cling to the comfort of promises. Watch what is done. Watch how she moves when no one is watching. The man who lives by reason sees the truth early, not late. And he does not need proof to walk away, only enough understanding to let go with strength. A woman who constantly seeks external validation is rarely grounded in loyalty. Her attention is not focused inward or toward the relationship. It is scattered across every gaze, every comment, every passing thrill that momentarily feeds her self-worth. She is not satisfied being seen by one man. She needs to be seen by many. And in this need, loyalty fades. When her sense of value depends on likes, compliments, and male attention, she becomes emotionally dependent on the world outside of the relationship. The Stoic man understands that where attention flows, energy follows. If she is always fishing for admiration, posting suggestive photos for strangers, flirting for fun, or needing to be constantly reminded of her worth by others, it is a sign that her foundation is unstable. Loyalty requires stillness. It requires the ability to be at peace with one person, one commitment, one direction. But when someone is addicted to being desired, they are never at rest. They are constantly looking outward for affirmation, instead of looking inward for purpose. And in that outward pull, betrayal can take root. Not always in the physical, but often in the emotional. The Stoic man does not react with jealousy or control. He does not argue for attention. He simply sees the pattern, understands the motivation behind it, and decides whether or not it aligns with the peace he seeks. He does not chase someone whose self-esteem is scattered across the opinions of strangers. Instead, he walks in truth, knowing that a person who needs the world to love them cannot truly love another with depth. Loyalty is not found in the loud, attention-seeking spirit. It is found in the quiet strength of a soul that needs no applause. To feel whole, that is what the Stoic seeks, and nothing less. When someone repeatedly disrespects boundaries, they are revealing a lack of loyalty, not just to the relationship, but to the idea of mutual respect. Disloyalty often begins not with grand betrayal, but with small, subtle dismissals. The Stoic man understands that what starts as a whisper often ends in a storm. A comment brushed off, a private moment shared publicly, a phone that suddenly faces down. These are not accidents, but signals of how far someone is willing to push limits. A woman who tests boundaries may do so under the mask of humor or independence, but her intent becomes clear over time. If she flirts openly with others and calls it harmless, if she shares intimate details about your relationship with friends, or continually ignores your standards and values, she is not honoring your place in her life. She is seeing how much she can do without consequence. A Stoic does not try to control or argue with this behavior. He does not raise his voice or beg for change. He sees it for what it is, a red flag cloaked in casual defiance. And he understands that loyalty cannot exist without boundaries that are respected on both sides. A relationship without clear lines is not a partnership. It is a slow unraveling. Boundaries are not chains. They are signs of self-respect. When someone loves and values you, they naturally guard those lines. But when those lines are stepped over, dismissed, or mocked, it is not just your boundaries that are at risk. It is your peace, your dignity, and your clarity. The Stoic man protects these things. He does not force respect. He simply withdraws where it does not exist. He chooses the quiet strength of self-command over the noise of being slowly undermined. Secrecy is often the shadow in which disloyalty hides. When a woman becomes unusually guarded, when parts of her life are kept behind locked doors, it is not a sign of independence. It is a sign of emotional distance. The Stoic man does not confuse privacy with secrecy. Privacy is healthy, but secrecy is deliberate concealment. It is the act of hiding something because one knows it could break trust if revealed. A woman who suddenly becomes protective of her phone, vague about where she's been, or inconsistent in her stories is signaling something. She may offer excuses. She forgot, she was tired, it wasn't important. But when these patterns repeat, they speak a silent truth. A loyal person moves openly. Their life is not hidden because they have nothing to hide. Their story does not change depending on who is asking. The Stoic man watches without accusation. He listens not just to what is said, but what is left unsaid. He notices the energy shift when questions are asked. He feels the tension when the room grows quiet around certain topics. He is not paranoid. He is aware. And awareness is the first step toward clarity. Loyalty does not need to live in the shadows. It walks in light, freely, and without fear. When someone begins to hide parts of their life, they are not just guarding details. They are creating distance. And that distance is where connection breaks down. The man grounded in Stoic thought does not beg for transparency. He does not demand access. He simply observes what is willingly offered and what is not. And when the silence grows louder than the words, he does not chase answers. He understands that loyalty should not need to be uncovered. It should be evident in the openness of one's life. When a woman refuses to take responsibility for her actions, it reveals more than just immaturity. It reveals a lack of loyalty to truth itself. Loyalty is not only about being physically faithful, but also about emotional honesty, moral accountability, and mutual respect. A woman who avoids accountability will twist reality, shift blame, and turn every issue outward. To the Stoic man, this is a clear sign that she is more invested in preserving her ego than preserving the relationship. The moment she is confronted with her contradictions, she becomes defensive, perhaps even angry. Instead of reflection, she offers justification. Instead of admitting fault, she accuses. This is not strength. It is a mask for fear. The fear of being wrong, of losing control, of facing the truth. But a person who cannot face themselves honestly cannot offer true loyalty to another. Because when the time comes to stand firm and take ownership, they will always run or deflect. A Stoic man does not argue with someone who refuses to see. He does not try to win a battle of perceptions. He stands still in clarity, knowing that Love without accountability is chaos dressed as care. The woman who is quick to call out your flaws but blind to her own is not a partner. She is a storm that blames the wind for where it lands. True connection is built on truth. And truth requires humility, the ability to say, "I was wrong," and mean it. When she cannot say those words, when she avoids responsibility like a shadow avoids light, know that you are not in a partnership, but a performance. The Stoic. Man walks away not in bitterness, but in wisdom. He chooses peace over confusion, reality over illusion, and self-respect over emotional negotiation.